What is up, fellow nerds, and welcome back to the Dapper Snapper Gaming channel, and welcome back to MemeGC. That's right, our VGC series here on the channel, and we are going to be taking on the live ladder with some weird stuff today. So today's team is a little weird, right? But I actually really like it, okay? So this team I've spent a little bit of time on. This is a team that I built myself. I haven't seen anybody else using this tech yet. So as far as I know, I'm the first one. That may not be true, I don't know. But as far as I know, I'm the only one using this tech so far. So what we've got here is a Trick Room team, right? So we've got Hatterene. This is a G-Max Hatterene, by the way. We've got Indeedee, of course. And then we've got Belly Drum Azumarill. I considered making it Choice Banded, but we ended up going with the Belly Drum set. We've got Marowak, which is pretty cool. And then T-Tar. So pretty standard stuff so far, right? But then we've got Stoutland, right? So Stoutland was newly added into the metagame now. And it has an interesting tech called After You. Now, After You isn't super common, but it has been used before. It's been used with some success before, so it's not unheard of. So basically what After You does is it causes the target to move immediately after the user. So basically what that does is Stoutland, whatever it uses After You on, it will go next. So it also gets Sand Rush. So Sand Rush doubles your speed in Sandstorm. So basically what we can do with this is use After You on something super slow in sand, and basically it gains the speed of Stoutland. So that's kind of our idea here. Is outside of Trick Room, we've got a lot of help with our speed. So it helps Tyranitar out. We've also got Surf to activate our weakness policy ourselves if we need to. And so that's pretty cool. So yeah, we've also got Psychic Fangs that helps to break through any screens that we may face. So that's also really nice. Then, you know, everything else is decently standard. But yeah, so it's a pretty cool team. I like it. So the team ID will, of course, be at the end of the video. So make sure to watch all the way to the end and then go out and use this team yourself. So I will see you guys in the first battle. All right, match number one. We have a Golduck, which is pretty interesting. So we've got 4 water types on my opponent's team, an Ice Cube and a Pincurchin. This is definitely a weird squad. I don't know what to expect out of Golduck, honestly. Obviously something is going to set Rain by Dynamaxing, so Azumarill may not be too bad here, although the Water Absorb on Lapras is interesting. Yeah, this is honestly a team where Rillaboom just kind of goes nuts, but obviously we're not running Rillaboom. We're running this. So what do we want to do about this? We could still run Stoutland T-Tar. The Ice Cube is kind of an issue though. It's kind of a big issue, to be honest. So let's actually lead Hat Indeedee, and then we'll actually bring Stoutland T-Tar in the back. I don't hate this being in the back. This could be our late game sweeping. The Cramorant is also interesting, giving the ability to max Airstream. This is definitely a very odd team, but I mean, depending on how it's played, it could be decent. I don't even know what Golduck does. I haven't seen one this generation. I mean, I know it gets Swift Swim. So we see Cramorant Lapras. So my opponent has a couple of things that he could do, right? So we could max the Cramorant and go for Airstreams, or we could max the Lapras and go for screens. Either one is not super great. So I'm gonna go ahead and follow me and Trick Room here, just to go ahead and see what my opponent wants to go for. Yeah, this is a weird one. I'm not really sure what to expect out of this. And I actually feel pretty threatened here, to be honest. This is, okay, so we see a withdraw on Cramorant into Pincurchin. Okay. So Pincurchin coming in to change the terrain. We will probably have to swap out in order to get that terrain back, because that could be somewhat of an issue. It is on a balloon, okay. And we don't see a Dynamax out of my opponent, so that's good to see, I guess. Icy Wind, okay, just to break potential sashes, I guess. But the speed drop doesn't matter one bit. Yeah, I don't mind the speed drop at all. And we'll go ahead and get Trick Room up. That is going to make Pincurchin the fastest thing on the field. So that is a problem. So let's go ahead and switch Indeedee out. I don't really care if Stoutland takes much damage. T-Tar, on the other hand, I really would like to keep healthy. Yeah, I would rather keep it healthy. So we're going to switch in Stoutland and then switch it right back out. And then on this, let's go ahead and just Expanding Force into Pincurchin. Yeah, we know it's Balloon, so I'm not worried about AV or anything. I know AV is something they are running nowadays. We're still slower than Pincurchin, which is kind of crazy. And we don't quite knock it out, even with a crit. Pop that Balloon, doesn't really matter. And we do see the Rising Voltage into what was the Indeedee slot, so that's actually totally fine. We okay. Okay. So my opponent hits a Sheer Cold. That is not what I was expecting to happen. So we're going to switch Stoutland into T-Tar here, and we'll go for another Expanding Force. That completely changes the game. Losing Hatterene in one turn like that, that completely changes the game for the worse. Okay, so do we see like a Rising Voltage into the T-Tar now? We do see a max now. Hitting that Sheer Cold, I don't think I can win this anymore. Yeah, there's the G-Max Lapras. As expected. Yeah, this is gonna be a tough one to win now. Like, a very tough one to win. As we see Recover out of Pincurchin, that should be fine. That shouldn't be that big of a deal. We see the Max Resonance into Indeedee. Okay. Yeah, we do live that, which is good. Is that based on Icy Wind? Is that why that did so little? It's kind of crazy. Alright, so we get the Expanding Force off. Obviously through the screens, that's not going to do all that much. So now basically now we're at the point where we kind of want to stall out our own Trick Room. We're not in the worst position at all, but we're not in the best position either. So I'm going to Rock Slide here and Follow Me. I would rather the Lapras attack into the Indeedee again and be able to keep my Tyranitar somewhat healthy. Yeah, alternatively we could go for the Max Rockfall. That's another thing we could do. But I don't know if it's time to Dynamax just yet. I mean, it's definitely going to be Tyranitar maxing, right? I mean, Pincurchin, you can just keep doing that. That's just wasting Pincurchin's turns. And as long as it's not setting up terrain, then I don't really care. That's not great damage. I'll be honest with you. Alright, so Indeedee is going to survive. Wow. Okay, so now we have Rain. Okay, so do we have one more turn of Trick Room? One more turn of Trick Room. Okay, so here's what we do. We're going to go ahead and we're gonna Max Knuckle into the Lapras to go ahead and get an attack boost. Yep, and then we're going to follow me here. The reason is because the Lapras is slower than us. It can go for max Geyser even if we go for max Rockfall, and then just reset up the rain, which is exactly what my opponent's going for here. So basically what we're trying to do here is let Indeedee go down this turn, and then we will have to set the sand up again using using Rockfall. So yeah, so there's our follow me. And Pincurchin goes for recover again. I'm not really threatened by Pincurchin right now, so it can keep doing that. The Lapras, though, I'm very threatened by the Lapras. Alright, so we're going to get an attack boost, which is good. And so now Lapras goes for Geyser. Yeah, so if we had gone for Rockfall, it would have just changed the weather again. So, you know, it is what it is. Indeedee goes down. And so now we have 2 Mons and a Dream. Stoutland on 28 health, which does go down to Pincurchin now. Okay, so this does shrink back down now. So that is good. We do have a little bit longer. And so now I'm gonna Rockfall into the Lapras. And actually, instead of after Ewing right now, I'm going to Psychic Fangs just to go ahead and break the screens. So we'll Psychic Fangs into Pincurchin. Yeah. There we go. So no more screens. That is what we need. And there's Perish Song. Okay, so yeah, we have three turns to knock out the whole team. Otherwise, we lose. That's pretty much where we're at. All right, Lapras does go down. I'm assuming we see Rising Voltage into Stoutland, probably. In which case, we wouldn't be able to knock everything out on. We wouldn't be able to knock everything out in time. Curse. Okay, now Pincurchin's starting to become an issue. Curse is definitely not something that I like to see. Okay. So, what does my opponent have in the back? That is the question. We're definitely in a rough position. We're definitely in a really bad position. Ice Cube. Okay. Okay. So, we're gonna Rockfall again into the Ice Cube. And we're going to Psychic Fangs into the Ice Cube because we've got to break its Ice Face. Yeah, we can't use our After You tech just yet because we do have to break this. Alright, so now what do you go for? Ice Punch into Stoutland. Yeah, that makes sense. And we Rockfall again. We've got to knock out this. Very good. Okay, so now we've got Pincurchin. Clicking recover again. Yeah, I don't know that I'll be able to knock out this Pincurchin. I don't have Earthquake or any ground type moves. So, yeah, we got 2 turns to knock out 2 Mons. And 1 more turn of Dynamax, I think? Or was that our last turn? I don't know. Either way, we're really slow. And oh yeah, Cramorant. Okay, so we do shrink now, and we haven't had our weakness policy activated yet. So honestly, though, if we had our weakness policy activated, I kind of think we had a shot at this. We might have had a shot. It also depends on what this Cramorant goes for, and if we survived it. Amnesia. That's not gonna help anything. So yeah, I was kind of hoping for like Scald No Burn. Wait, we crit the Pincurchin. That's kind of insane. So it lives on a Focus Sash, but it's gonna go down to Sand. Are we gonna actually pull the, we are. As long as we don't miss our last turn, We're gonna win on the last turn of... Yep, Cramorant goes down to sand. And Pincurchin lives the sand, I believe. But then we knock it out next turn, and our Perish count falls to 1. And we're gonna be able to knock this thing out. And I'm going for Crunch so that I don't miss, because that would be my luck, is miss a Rock Slide on the last turn. And we pull through. Oh my goodness. That was an incredibly close game. Yeah, playing to the Perish Song win was my opponent's best play, but... And Tyranitar honestly just didn't need the weakness policy. That was fantastic. So the team performed well. I'm a fan of that. So let's get another one. All right, match number 2, and we've got some scary stuff here. Mimikyu plus Galarian Corsola. This could be interesting. Also the Milotic. Milotic is very good against our team. I'm not gonna lie, Milotic actually scares me. Yeah, this team honestly just looks really good against our team. It really looks really good against our team. So this is gonna be a tough match. It's gonna be a real tough match. Almost everything beats Tyranitar. Hatterene can't really deal with the Lucario all that well. We are gonna lead Hat and Didi. And then question mark, Marowak and Azumarill. Yeah, I think we leave Stoutland T-Tar behind on this one. Yeah, even though these are like lesser used Mons, they are not bad Mons at all. Like, these are still very strong Pokemon. So unique team by my opponent, and it might just work. It might just put in some work. So yeah, we'll just have to see what my opponent wants to do here. But the Corsola is kind of scary. The Corsola is kind of scary, not gonna lie. Excuse me, that took forever. So Milotic Mimikyu. Yeah, Milotic is definitely a problem. So Psychic Surge is going to stop any Shadow Sneak shenanigans, which is good. And Hatterene lives a Shadow Claw, right? I mean, so I kind of honestly want to Trick Room here and just go ahead and Expanding Force. I really think that my opponent is going to predict the Follow Me and not go for a Ghost move. It's kind of a bold turn 1 prediction, but I want to go ahead and break the Disguise on the Mimikyu. As we go ahead and see the max, I'm sure this is Mimikyu. If my opponent called my not going for Follow Me, that's kind of ridiculous. Because yeah, I mean, Follow Me was the play I make every time there, but I'm trying to go beyond that. As we see a max Flutterby, okay. Goes ahead and goes into the Indeedee. We do live, which is kind of nuts. That is gonna lower our special attacks, and that is not the best. And it is Life Orb, so we do learn that it's Life Orbed, and it's going to go for Scald into the Hatterene. No burn, please. All right, no burn. And there we go. So we're gonna go ahead and break the Disguise, which is exactly what we need in order to get started here. So yeah, now we can damage it, which is good. And then we're gonna go ahead and get our Trick Room up, which is nice. So Milotic is an issue here, and honestly, so is Mimikyu. Both of these Mons are very strong. They're both very strong, very bulky. They hit like trucks. But I honestly want to just double Expanding Force here. Yeah, I just need to get off as much damage as I possibly can. That's basically where I'm at here. That's pretty good damage considering -1. Okay, so they are both pretty low now. We see a Hydro Pump. I mean, that's risking the miss. So do we see a double into Hatterene? We very well might. No, it goes into Indeedee. Okay. So yeah, my opponent really wanted to get rid of the Indeedee. It also gets rid of the Psychic Terrain, which is also an issue. Yeah, that's also a problem. We could have also maxed the Hatterene. Yeah, that also could have been a thing we do. So we've got a couple of options here, right? We could go Marowak and actually max it. Just, I don't think we can knock out Mimikyu is the only thing, so I'm gonna go Azu. Yeah, we'll go ahead and go Azu. I don't think my opponent can really touch Azu all that much. So we go for Expanding Force into the Mimikyu. I don't really think we're gonna get a Belly Drum off here. Just doesn't look like it's gonna be in the cards. But we're gonna go ahead and Starfall into the Milotic. I would like to go ahead and get that out of here. Because the Mimikyu can't really do too awfully much to Azumarill. And so I'm assuming we lose Hatterene here. I don't want Protect on it or anything. I could max guard in the Trick Room slot, but I don't think that's really all that worth it. But let's just go ahead and see. Okay, we do see a max guard out of the Mimikyu, so that is a good thing that we did target down the Milotic with our Azumarill, which is very good. Can we get the knockout here? We can. Okay, so that's a good turn. That's a great turn. Yeah, the max guard was, I mean, relatively obvious. I mean, I'm not gonna say it was super obvious, but it was relatively obvious. Okay, Lucario comes in. Lucario is scary, especially because Bullet Punch is a thing, and I don't have a way to stop it right now. That's kind of my problem. I don't have any way to stop the priority. Yeah, and even if I were to swap in, the Marowak, it would go down to Mimikyu the next turn. So I want to go ahead and Geyser. Well, no, I don't want to Geyser. I want to Starfall into Mimikyu. Yeah, so there's the Shadow Sneak, and that is what threatens my... Yeah, that is what threatens the Marowak in the back. So I want to go ahead and get rid of that. Alright, Bullet Punch. We should live that easily. Yeah, we do. That does nothing. And Azumarill's gonna keep putting in work here and get rid of this Mimikyu, which is absolutely fantastic. So now, do we have more Trick Room, please? I think so. I think we have a couple more turns, 1 or 2 more turns. So I think it all comes down to what's in the back. Sandaconda. I think we can do this then. Yeah, I think we can do this. How many turns Trick Room do we have? 1, and that might just be all we need. So yeah, I'm gonna Flare Blitz into the Lucario and Geyser. Oh wait. Who's slower? Azumarill is 49. Marowak. Okay, so Marowak will go first, which is good. That's what we need. So, and then Geyser into Sandaconda. Yeah, Marowak is slower by 4 points, which is what we need because I don't want to go for Flare Blitz after I set Rain on myself. It is sashed, so actually that's fine. As we see Pasho Berry, right, Pasho Berry, the water berry, that's kind of nuts. Okay, so that changes things. That changes things because now Sandaconda can actually just knock out our Marowak. Nope, we can live that actually because it's not stab, although that was a crit. And CC, that's, yeah, no, we're taking that. Even with a crit. Okay, the double crit, that's fine. So defenses are down, which is fine. So now we can just Aqua Jet into the... We can Aqua Jet into the Lucario slot and go for a Poltergeist. Actually, let's go for Protect on Marowak, and we'll go for Aqua Jet on the Lucario. I want to go ahead and make sure that this Lucario is out of here, and this way it becomes a 2v1 against the Sandaconda. It's already burned its berry, so now Aqua Jet, when we hit it in the rain next time, will definitely do a good chunk of damage. So this was definitely an interesting game, though. Interesting team to face. But I think we can wrap this one up. I think we can take this game. So my opponent is thinking long and hard about this last turn. Yeah, we're going to Protect. The Protect is kind of obvious, but I think it's fine. Yeah, and there's Aqua Jet. Go ahead and knock out the Lucario. As we crit mattered. It didn't. And then we get the Sandaconda. Goes for Stone Edge. Calls my Protect. Okay. But that's going to activate our Citrus Berry, so I'm fine with that. So we actually gain health this turn. No more Misty Terrain, but we don't need it. So yeah, so now we just click No, we don't click Poltergeist because it burned its berry, so we're not going to do that. We're going to click Bone Meringue here, and then we're going to click Aqua Jet. So yeah, this should be the game, I would think. Yep, there it goes. Perfect. So really cool team by my opponent, but we were able to kind of squeeze by right there. Marowak and Azumarill are a pretty cool team. I like them a lot. They're cool mons. So yeah, awesome game 2. It's again pretty close. The crits definitely could have made a difference at the end, but Lucario just wasn't going to be able to muscle through what I had. And yeah, I mean, Sandaconda just wasn't going to be able to kill Azumarill, so Azumarill was just super clutch that match. Basically, that's what it came down to, is Azumarill was just super clutch. So, as always, we always do 3. Let's get one more. All right, last game of the day, and we see, we see an Arctovish, which is definitely a interesting bring, but under Trick Room, that's not that weird. So that is something we need to be careful of, although I don't think we're super threatened by it. It could be a problem for Marowak and Azumarill, though. How slow is that? It's like base 55, is that right? Arctovish, 55, yeah. So, yeah, we could have some issues here. I kind of want to lead Indeedee and T-Tar, because T-Tar actually does really good work against this team, and Indeedee stops the Grassy Glide, or it stops the terrain anyway from allowing it to be priority, so that's good. Besides that, I think I want to bring Hatterene here, and then I think Azu is probably our last. Yeah, I think we leave Stoutland and Marowak behind on this one. But yeah, Indeedee and T-Tar is a bring that I don't bring super often, but this team, just T-Tar puts in a lot of work against this team, and Indeedee will help to prevent the grassy terrain if that's what my opponent wants to lead with. Okay, so we don't see that lead. This lead should be fine, I think. Yeah, this lead should be totally fine. But we go ahead and get up the Psychic Surge, which is fantastic. Neither of these mons really want to use any kind of priority, so that's good. And neither of them really threaten T-Tar all that much. You know, Snorlax could have something like high horsepower, but that shouldn't OHKO us. So I think I'm actually going to just hard switch into the Hatterene here. And then, yeah, I think we'll just go ahead and max Knuckle into the Lax. I mean, if Kiss wants to go ahead and max, then that's fine. But yeah, Snorlax could be a problem. Okay, so we are going to see the max on the Togekiss, so yeah, because that should be the only thing faster than me. Unless the Snorlax has speed investment. Yeah, it is the Togekiss, so we may see a Starfall into the T-Tar. And if that is the case, then what we can do is we could max guard next turn after we take whatever hit this is, and then set Trick Room, and then just kind of go from there. So yeah, pretty much what I'm expecting here is a max Airstream and a Belly Drum, or something of that nature. Just a speed boost, and then, you know, Snorlax getting stronger. Nope, we do see the Starfall. All right. We should live that. Yeah, we do live that. And that is going to activate our weakness policy, which is, yeah, the crit, not so great. Because actually we live 2 of those if they're non-crits. And Sand is definitely helping there. Sand giving us the special defense boost is definitely huge. But yeah, Max Knuckle going into the Snorlax, yeah, no chance. Not with weakness policy boost. So that is fantastic. It doesn't get a chance to do anything that it wants to do. And so yeah, this turn I think we just want to max guard and Trick Room. Yeah, even if my opponent goes into something like, what, Incineroar or anything like that. So we see Lefty's Togekiss. Okay, that's interesting. That's interesting. So what do you bring in here? Because, I mean, even if Incineroar... Okay, Rillaboom. Okay. Yeah, I mean, this is going to be, like, the most obvious max guard of all time. But I pretty much have to. Alright, we do see the Grassy Seed as well, raising its defense. But, yeah, so we're going to Trick Room here. And super obvious max guard. But I kind of have to, otherwise I get absolutely destroyed. So, yeah. So my opponent is winning the terrain war currently, but I think it's okay for now. Yep, we are going to max guard. We do see an Earthquake. Okay. That is weakened by terrain, so Hatterene takes that super well. And Starfall goes into the max guard, so that max guard is fantastic, and that's a free Trick Room. So, give me that. Thank you very much. That's a great turn. Yeah, that's an absolutely fantastic turn for us. And that might just turn this game around. Now, the Rillaboom is obviously not banded, which is good. We are also healing from the terrain, which is nice. Togekiss is also healing from all of that goodness right there. So here's the question. I think I go for Mystical Fire into the Rillaboom. So the question is, do we double the Rillaboom, or do we just go for the Togekiss? We have Azu in the back, so we really need to get rid of Rillaboom if we can. Yeah, I think we need to get rid of Rillaboom. So I think we're going to Darkness into that slot as well. We're going to double down the Rillaboom, because Togekiss isn't really that much of a threat to... Oh, and it max guards anyway? That... Okay. Grassy Glide, can we survive? We live on 24. Okay. Yeah, this is good. So we doubled down. We made the right call. Oh, it O-coded anyway. That's fine. That's fine. So yeah, we do go for Darkness, but it's gonna go into the guard. That's fine. Perfect. So yeah, that's exactly what we wanted to see. But I mean, yeah, the free healing is definitely nice on my Hatterene. It's helping me out a lot. And yeah, the Togekiss isn't really that much of a threat to me anymore. You know, I have a Azumarill in the back, which isn't threatened by this really. Especially since we carry Ice Punch, which is good, and we have Dusclops as the last. That's fine. Right now I'm just gonna go for a. Well, actually, this could be an issue because the Dusclops is super slow, and can actually just go for a. Nightshade into the T-Tar, so that's not the best. So I'm actually going to click Dazzling Gleam here and Protect. How many turns of Trick Room do we have left? 3. Yeah, I can afford to do that. So we're gonna protect here. I'm expecting a Nightshade into this slot, so I don't want to take that. As we see Ally Switch, oh man. So yeah, I almost clicked Rock Slide, and Rock Slide would have been, I mean, that would have been pretty much game over, I think, if I click Rock Slide there. As we still do a good chunk of damage here. Do we see Dazzling Gleam? We do. Yeah, Rock Slide would have been the play right there. That would have definitely sealed the game. So, yeah, I was assuming that you just go ahead and click that, or even reverse Trick Room. That's another option that my opponent could have gone for. All right, so we do still have a Azumarill in the back, and that should be able to deal with everything with all this prior damage. So I'm just gonna go for 2 spread moves, just to go ahead and spread the love. And we'll just see what my opponent wants to go for. I mean, Ally Switch is literally the best option for me, and that loses them the game. Yeah, like I said, I was expecting Nightshade. Okay, so no Ally Switch this time. And we've done half to Dusclops, which is absolutely fantastic. And we're actually slower than the Dusclops, which is kind of insane. We aren't able to knock it out, which is insane just how bulky this thing actually is. And it does reverse our Trick Room, like I was saying it might. So that's why it went last. Okay. I was gonna say, there's no way that it should be going after a T-Tar in Trick Room. That's kind of crazy. But yeah, if my opponent had done that 1 turn prior, I don't think it still wouldn't have decided the game, just because we do have the Azumarill in the back. But yeah, if my opponent made that play 1 turn earlier, then it could have knocked out both of my Mons this turn, and then just proceeded to lose to Azumarill. So it ended up not making a difference in the end. But still, GG to my opponent. Really, really good game. And we're gonna go ahead and knock it out with Crunch. So really cool stuff. So let me know in the comments down below what you think about this strat. I think it's really, really cool being able to take these really slow Mons and just bring them up to the highest speed tier when you've got a Stoutland on the squad. So yeah, after you Stoutland, it's pretty cool. I like it. It's a good Mon. It's strong. Yeah, so let me know down in the comments below how you would improve this team, because I would love to hear your suggestions on how you would make this team better. And yeah, so let me know, and make sure to leave a like on the video as always, and subscribe if you are new. We put out new videos almost every day, and we will be streaming tomorrow, so make sure to check that out as well. So anyway guys, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye bye.